Do you believe in accountable love? I brought everybody, we brought everybody together, us love snobs, brought everybody together to talk about relationships. We want to understand, what each person brings to the table. We are all searching for stability. We are all looking for absolutes in humanity, but there are no absolutes. There's only accountable love, a love that says when you pick a partner and friend, they will show up with their daily best and you will give them your all as well. We all deserve love at its highest form, so the love snobs are here to tell you, you deserve everything. You deserve a high class. Love snobs, love snobs, love snobs. So I think these discussions are important because I think that's the start of the relationship. If you don't have value and you don't know what you bring to the table, I think that's what allows the insecurities to, enter your relationship. So I want y'all to start off. I mean, we can go clockwise, counterclockwise, but just give a little bit about what you feel you bring to the table. I know we had, individual videos, but I really want to start the dialogue that way.
This is our do-over.
Right. I was like, can I go again? He was like, no. I was like, oh, okay.
So go ahead. So who's gonna start?
You want to start?
Okay. All right.
Put your lips on it, girl. What?
Pause. Talk about that another time. Right. So I do want to bring up the fact of something that you pointed out during my individual shot. Is that okay?
Definitely. Go do your thing.
I do want to bring out the fact that when I think of accountable love, I do think of like intimate relationships, and even with the word intimacy, that kind of, I think of romantic relationship. And when I was done with what I bring to the table, he was like, so that's how you saw it. That's the only way you saw it, huh? And I was like, oh shit, yeah, relationships are across the board. So as far as what I bring to the table in relationship, I bring intelligent loyalty, smart loyalty. I definitely bring a trustworthiness. I bring honesty. I'm funny, definitely talented. So I'm a person who likes to bring more creativity out of the person that I'm with. I usually only know creatives, really, honestly. I definitely bring a sense of joy. I love life, so I'm not a Debbie the Downer. You're definitely gonna get some new viewpoints on the world, dealing with me. And support, honest support. It's a long list. I'm kind of like...
Yeah, well, you could give a small snippet. We don't want you to run the tape up.
There you go.
We don't want you to run the tape up. You bring everything to the table, I see.
I bring it all, okay? Yeah. I bring the table, okay?
Definitely, definitely. But what's your name?
Allwynter.
What's your name?
Allwynter.
Allwynter, okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm good. Yeah. With me, I think it's mostly loyalty, but when I say loyalty, I think it's more so of what my friends think of what loyalty is with friendship. Like, loyalty to them, I don't want them to feel like it means just because you shot somebody, you can come and stay at my house and hide out now. I mean, loyalty gotta mean.
You took it back to the block.
I mean,
you're not hood loyal.
I'm that because
I know.
I want loyalty to to my friends especially to mean that you can trust my word.
Definitely.
That's what I want them to understand as in a friendship and what I mean to them, like, and just that we can always be accountable to each other. I forgot to say that. I forgot to say that before, but I always want to be accountable for the things that we do, whether it's right or wrong, and it's just to make sure that I'm always a upstanding friend to them. That's all.
Definitely.
Oh, sorry.
I bring the table to the table. Nah. As far as what I bring to a friendship or relationship, I should say, I bring all of me. I bring transparency. I bring honesty. I bring loyalty in the truest sense of loyalty, meaning I'm loyal to positivity, right versus wrong. So at all points, that accountability has no choice but to show up when I come to the table as well, because I want to make sure you're your greatest self. So that's what I bring to the table. I bring a whole lot more, but I guess that'll come out in conversation.
I bring to the table is I bring love to the table, accountability, integrity, and also I bring 100% of myself. Just being willing to put everything out there and you know, be fully transparent, as Mahagony said, and just you know, try to be fair in all situations, and you know, understanding, and just try to you know, get to know the person just as well as I want them to get to know me. So you know, just trying to make sure that we're creating an equal relationship. You know, we're going to the same path, you know, and doing everything I need to do to make sure that that stays in line. So
Definitely. Go ahead, Dave.
Here, I got you.
You got me? Oh, you mean the video?
Okay,
Oh.
what you think?
You thought she was cutting in front of you.
God forbid. Nah. I'm mad uncomfortable now. I feel warm.
Oh, you're blushing.
Now I'm hot. Now, you know, originally when you asked me that question, just to keep it simple, I just bring like authenticity. Like I just do my best to be myself where I'm at in the situation. I bring a lot of humor, a lot of insight, a lot of experience, a lot of excitement, you know, a lot of dysfunction, you know what I mean? So yeah. So with me it's like, you know, you get a lot, you know, both negative and positive, you know, because I'm not always like, you know, centered. So yeah, so that's what I bring. I got you now.
You got me?
Yeah.
All right. No questions asked. All right, so we already run the table, so I'm like I like already have like everything from everybody. So I feel like what I bring to the table is I'm honest, I'm authentic, I'm vulnerable, mostly transparent. You know, it's like I say mostly because when we think about transparent, like, you know, they know all my ins and outs, but you know, do I say every single thought? No. You know what I mean? So I know that there's some things in there that I could improve on, definitely. I would say I like the fact that he brought in the fact that he didn't just bring the good, he brought the bad too. So I know with certain people I could be like overly emotional, but I know for the most part, like I'm a good team member, I'm a good teammate, I'm resourceful, I'm creative. Like you were saying, like I bring the best out of whoever I'm with, you know what I mean? Like we're writing a book, we're doing a podcast, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna try to do whatever I can to make it happen. I'm very nurturing, I'm a handy woman. I do it all. I do hair, I clean, I cook, I do what I can.
You just ran down your resume.
Yeah, I mean, let me start handing it out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Talk to Jerry. She'll pencil you in for me. So you know, I do bring a lot. I bring a lot of good, but there's some insecurity that I have that I'm working on. So I bring some of that too. It kind of affects the goodness that I have, but according to Tessie, I'm on the right page. I'm on the right path. So yeah, that's it for now.
Definitely. Go ahead. What do you think? They don't have to talk about what you bring to the table because they know us.
Oh yeah,
And
so
we do a podcast. We talk about what we bring to
but
the
I would-
table, positive, negative.
yeah. But I would say this though. I think that it's nice that you guys highlighted the good and the bad, because I do think that we do struggle with certain insecurities, and you know, like we were saying yesterday, like I'm a secure person with insecurities, you know what I mean? So we go through, as we grow, as we evolve, as we learn new things, like we tend to, you know, deal with new obstacles. We may be a little insecure. So I think that yes, I bring a lot to the table, but there are some things I still need to obviously work on. I would say I'm being reformed. No, I see things in a lot different, and I think everything's connecting. Everything makes sense. You know, life is drama free, and I'm loving it. And I'm just trying to spread the good word and making sure that, you know, we push this message as far as we can.
Definitely. Well, she took the mic and said she was gonna tell you what she brings to the table. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's really important for us to start this mentality of understanding what we bring to the table, because we fail to realize, like, you can go to a job and dress up, and you know, to the public you could be on an interview and give them your best self. But when it comes to relationships, we shy away from the interviewing process.
Yes.
We shy away from the interviewing process when it's your number one interview. It's the people you riding with. It's the people that you're going through life with. So why wouldn't you have an understanding of what you bring as well as what they bring? And isn't it very important to identify these things? Because defining your terms, you can hold people to things when they define who they said they're going to be. But if you just go, oh, I just want to deal with things organically. How many times we heard that?
That's me. That's
You know, everybody talks about this, everything being done organically. And I get it, we all eating different, and we learning new words, and you know what I mean? So we just gonna apply them.
No, he's semi-vegan.
Yeah, we gonna apply them to the
veganish.
Yeah, we gonna apply them to relationships,
Coming soon.
but I mean, the organic process is the process of getting to know each other inside out, and that's through communication, and that's through definition, and that's through absolutes. Like, why would you sign up for somebody and you're not certain? Like, you don't feel a certainty. You can get away with all humans do X, Y, and Z. I mean, it's a cop-out, but really you saying I'm going to bring this to the table and you're going to live with that. So you need certainty, don't you think? So, you know, anybody can touch on that and what they feel about that.
Give it to us one more time.
I know, like certainty. Like,
No, what do you feel about the relationships being done organically, or having discussions, or the interviewing process, or I don't want to talk about all of this on the first date, or me and my friends, we kind of rock, but we never really talk. But when I see you, you know, when we talk after a year, we pick up where we left off. I mean, that seems more like family member to me, but, you know.
Well, for me, the whole organic, I use the word organically all the time. And when I say organically, I'm meaning the connection, not necessarily solidifying what is to come. I don't like to have to work to pull people in. I like that to happen naturally. I'm not one of those people who just, I'm not one of those people who works for a connection that I don't already know that I want. If you understand that.
like a cat and mouse kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't feel the need to chase people or be chased, right? So naturally, I am cool as I'm moving through life, and then there's a certain transfer of energy that takes place with certain people that makes me say, I wonder about this person. That's what I mean when I speak of organic connections, because something about you sparked the interest in me.
Definitely.
Something about me sparked the interest in you, and now we are getting to a place where we solidify, you know, what this could possibly be going forward. So I still believe in the being very specific in what I'm expecting and needing from an interaction. However, the initial meeting has to happen organically.
So when you're talking about food, like organic food, what does that mean, Dave? Because I know you know. Nah. Dave gonna break it down. What does it mean? What does organic food mean?
That is grown a certain way.
Grown that.
Yeah, it's grown in specific
I'm
way.
asking everybody.
Oh,
I was just teasing
It's
Dave.
grown
It's grown-
naturally
yeah.
without the pesticides and stuff, right?
Or genetically modified.
Oh yeah.
Genetically
It's
modified.
natural.
Yeah, it's natural. It's just grown naturally.
And what
without-
does natural mean? What does the natural process mean? Like when you're dealing in a relationship, what would y'all say the natural process means?
Well, I think that's the question, right? Because you're asking about what's organic and what's the natural process of us dating. And right now, if we think socially, it's go to the movies, go out to dinner. That's organic right now. That's the way we go about things. But I don't believe in that. It's like, I agree. Why am I gonna go to movies and sit there and not really get to know each other when very well if I ask you how many sex partners you had, you tell me 150 or you can't count, I'm already gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like that's already gonna be a turnoff for me. You know what I mean? How, you know, there's just so many different things, you know what I mean, that I might, you know, what's your belief? Oh, you're atheist. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I know that, like why I go through the movies, I'm gonna go out to dinner and to find out the hard things or the things that are actually meaningful later on, and then I don't even want to deal with you.
At the end of the day, it boils down to beliefs, because some people don't believe that they need to get to know the person that well on the first date.
Of
yeah,
course,
If
and
they
that's the
believe
problem.
They believe in chemistry.
But yeah,
A lot of people
but
believe
yet
in
they'll
the
have
physical.
sex. But they'll have sex. So
Because they when that first meeting is the chemistry. They meet the person, and they want to know, can I actually be around this person? How does this person make me feel when I'm around them? Do I get that positive vibe? You know what I mean? And then from there, it's like, okay, I'm attracted to this person. So now that you're attracted and you actually met and you're around each other and you see that you can vibe, then it turns into a physical thing.
Yeah, but it should
First
be,
and foremost,
definitely be
right?
Yeah.
But their beliefs
Yeah.
are, they're saying they want to get to know this person and they want a relationship. I've been in it. We talked about it.
Can I say something? I don't think going to the movies is a bad thing for the first time because you might.
I
both-
do. You can't really talk at the movies.
I don't. What I'm trying to say is you don't have to talk. That's only 2 hours. That movie. I'm saying that you can go there. Y'all can have that. Y'all can have a movie in common that you wanted to see. After the movie, you get to talk about the movie. You get to talk about what's going on, this, that, and the fourth. That builds conversation. I'm saying. I'm not saying to go to the movies and just go home. That's what's probably what y'all thinking. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's nothing wrong with going there and just seeing the movie and learning things from each other. But you can always talk after the movie.
That's
But here's
true.
the thing.
Build conversation.
You're getting a lot of likes. But go ahead.
But here's the thing about that. When you if you met somebody for the first time, right? You don't know each other, and you're gonna spend 2 hours of that time at the movies when y'all could be talking over maybe dinner or having a more intimate conversation. Yes, I know that the movie could give you guys content, but being that you guys don't know each other at all, wouldn't that be the opportunity to start talking to each other
But
to get to
obviously,
know each other?
I'm trying to say you had to have some type of conversation to get to the movie because you both might have that. In
So
common.
you're saying
I'm
that
just
not the
saying
first
that
date,
doesn't
you're saying,
have
like,
to-
overall.
No, I'm just saying that doesn't have to define that y'all not gonna be in common with each other. I'm saying that y'all both might have this movie in common. Like, yo, I really want to see that too. You want to go see it?
Can I chime in for one?
Go ahead, just try.
No, I don't want to just bogart the convo, but there's a couple of things, right? Like, I think being able, like I like what he was saying too. It resonates with me. Like, if I could be still with somebody and just present without having to have any activity going on and feel like that peace and that connection, I think that says a lot. Like, if we could be around each other in silence, like that's a good sign for me, right? I don't like movies on first dates, to be honest. So
No likes for you.
yeah, no likes. They love me. No. So and then another thing, as far as when we talk about organic, right? I believe that when you label something, you give it a shelf life. There's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of like pressure that's placed upon what the ideal of a relationship and what a relationship is supposed to be like, right? I think that when we're in tune and something to kind of piggyback of what he was saying, like when we're present with our being, and I know that I really don't need nothing because everything that I have is self-sustainable within myself. I don't expect you to fill any unmet needs for me. You get what I'm saying? So my level of expectation is lowered, and I'm able to allow you to be who you are if I feel like the chemistry is there. So we may not have the same belief system because I'm not, like I would tell someone, I'm not a Christian, right? Is that going to be a deal breaker? Is that going to cancel me out? But how do I treat you? How do I feel? How do you feel when you're with me? Like, am I stimulating you, conversationally, psychologically, emotionally, and all that stuff? I think that when we label stuff and we have these expectations and we put ourselves in these different boxes, we contaminate. This is what going back to the organic. Organic is not contaminated, and the process of its growth is all natural elements. You get what I'm saying? And I think that when we start to drop all the labels and the beliefs and all this, what ideals, and we just allow things to evolve naturally, I think that that's a more authentic relationship as opposed to all that other stuff that's cerebral. Oh, he's not supposed to be doing. He's eating a fork. He's eating with his left hand. Like it's too much noise going on. I just want to feel. How do I feel with you? And that's where I gauge if I mess with you or not. We was talking about in the car.
Okay, like to go back to the movies for the first date. You could play with semantics, but you're talking about first dates. So if y'all obviously been talking, chatting, getting to know each other, then y'all built a friendship. So by the time the first date happens, maybe y'all could go to the movies because you already know each other. But typically when the first date occurs, you're trying to get to know each other. So if you spend 2 hours out the date trying to get to know each other, and then now you go and find content that's going to allow you to talk and distract from talking about each other.
Yeah,
And you're
it
going
takes
to actually
away.
talk about the movie. It actually takes away from y'all actually having that connection. And, you know, you want to mature into togetherness as early as possible. Why can't, the same way you say, why can't you go to movies on the first date? Why can't you go to movies on the third date? Do you not think that y'all can still see that same movie after y'all actually got to know each other? And to go back to what he's saying, when dealing with labels, we assassinate words just when it's convenient. Labels are just identified. They allow us to identify that we are all on the same page. So when there's a salt, you don't want to put sugar in you don't want to put
oatmeal.
sugar in your oatmeal.
Yeah.
You want to put sugar in your oatmeal.
You don't want to put salt in your oatmeal. Yeah.
You're gonna pull a tab, put the sugar in. I'm gonna go and pull the tab, put the sugar in. She knows what the sugar is. She knows what the sugar is. So when you have different labels, when the thing is being mislabeled, the thing is being misjudged, prejudged. The difference is when somebody's not taking the time to truly get to know who you are, because who you are, they might not want to be around. That's okay. But who you are is a bunch of labels. Now, is it one label? No, but it is a box because you're a human being. And it is going to be something, there are deal breakers when somebody's not going to really deal with you based on those deal breakers. And they got to be able to identify those things. And that deals with communication. Without any communication, you got, like what we talked about earlier off camera, we have chaos. So now you're in a relationship where you can't communicate because y'all talking different languages.
Yeah.
But also,
The words aren't resonating because you're like, well, to me, this is what the word means. To me, this is what the word means. And you don't have the proper labels to actually govern your relationship. So I think you're more invested when you're willing to find the labels, find the structure, and move as one unit on one accord. And actually start building a relationship, whether it's with your friend or it's with your partner, your romantic partner. You should have those labels and don't run from it. You just don't want to mislabel things. And I think that's the important piece.
but
Go ahead.
also, I mean, when you're talking about feeling, you're talking a lot about feelings right now. Feelings are fleeting.
Yeah, they waver.
Upon years later, I mean, I was like head over heels in love. I would do anything. And now, like, years later, you can completely feel in disarray and just like, I don't care. And you know what? Who cares if we end up together? And you can feel completely opposite. So feelings ain't shit. Feelings ain't gonna hold you down. So those principles and those beliefs have to be there. They have to be there. You want to talk about Christianity, whatever it is that you believe, you have to have something there. There has to be something. No one's gonna, if someone calls you a thief out your name or a rapist, you're not having that because you know you're not a rapist. You know you're not a thief. If someone says you're disloyal, you're not having that either. Those are all labels. We all need them. Same thing when we have discussions or commitments and agreements with our partners. Those are things that have to hold us down. The principles that have to hold our foundation. So fuck how you make me feel right now, because 20 years from now, when you find your coworker attractive and we're in like a
Rough patch.
in a funny place, what are you telling me? So now you feeling organic with her and you're gonna cheat on me? I'm gonna tell you right now, we would never be together based on this conversation. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I know. Like, it's yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you could feel organic with anybody. You feel organic with a dude, and you're gonna be like, hey, but no, you're not, right? You know why? Because you're not gay, right? Which is another label, right? So that's what I'm saying. You gotta watch what you say, because we need those foundations, we need those labels. And again, 100% with Aziz, like, yeah, you just can't. I can't be like, oh, you not this, and I agree, have all these expectations, right? And not be open-minded to see like maybe a little bit more. That doesn't take away from the fact though that I have a set of principles, I have a set of beliefs, and those are things you absolutely must feel, because without those we ain't shit.
Yeah.
Like, we're nothing.
Absolutely. Can I defend myself?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Nah, I'm just playing. I don't want to defend myself.
That, especially even just that part alone, the Christianity thing, when you were like, am I Christian? If she's Christian, and but how do I make you feel? Those are like that's even one of the most important things. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the basis of which you put everything else in life, that
Your
your
faith.
faith. Yeah. So if you're Christian and I'm not,
That may be
right
a deal
now,
breaker.
maybe you make me feel all right, but no, when it comes, Sunday comes and you
Yeah.
want to go to church, and I'm like,
But it's not
Babe, I
how
don't do
you
church.
make me feel. It's how I feel when I'm with you. There's
no,
a
I
difference.
get it, but listen to what I'm saying. That's nice
Yeah.
in the moment. All right, I feel
It's not
I
the
feel
moment.
good. But what I'm
Long
saying
term.
is that everybody's foundation, your foundation, is super important. You know, how I see things, how I view things. What do I give?
But that's also fleeting, by the way.
No, my
Beliefs
faith is-
change. Beliefs
They
change
can-
through experience
they
and
can
stuff.
until you get into a space where you're solid with your beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm solid in my beliefs and you're a Christian, right? And I'm over here being solid, you're solid too. And unless I'm somebody that is there for you to be like, I had some questions about Christianity, and now that I've met you, I'm able to open my mind up to these other ideas outside of Christianity. Other than that, I'm going to piss you off. Even if we're speaking similar language, because your religion and my base, you know, it's same-ish kind of
Parallel, they're
conversation.
parallel,
As soon as I say, don't talk that Jesus shit to me. Like, I can't. No, I'm just serious. If I say that to you, you're going to be like, what do you mean Jesus shit? Now, all of a sudden, everything is in two different places because the important shit, like, how do we see shit? Like, I don't care how you make me feel if how we see shit is not.
That's gonna make you feel so.
But like,
I see, but that's my point. My point is, who cares? It doesn't. What matters to me is how I feel about myself, right? If I'm comfortable with myself, and I'm around you, and you exude a certain energy that irritates my spirit, that's what gauges whether or not I want to deal with you or not. Not
I'm
wait,
gonna
not
irritate your
hold on,
spirit.
hold on, but
Eventually.
Yeah.
no,
You know?
but there's a way. See, there's what you call acceptance, right? You can accept somebody and understand that, yo, we're not always gonna be on all the time, and we're not supposed to be around each other all the time either. So when you're going through your moments and I'm going through mine, like space and distance is important in a relationship as well for it to grow. So you could be Muslim, I could be Jewish. And we don't even have to have the discussion. We could just accept the fact that, all right, that's your beliefs, this is my beliefs. But what does that have to do with how we treat each other?
Your
What
faith,
does-
A lot.
your
Really?
faith,
Nah,
your faith,
it
your
doesn't-
faith
it
is your
doesn't.
foundation. Your faith is your foundation.
I don't believe that.
That's a part of your.
What if I don't have it? What if I don't have a faith? What if I don't subscribe to no religion?
Everyone has some
no,
faith.
no, 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 no,
It
no,
just
no.
may not-
Faith and
no,
religion is
faith
two
and
different
religion
things.
is different.
All right, so faith in what
That is
exactly?
the principles that are aligned in your lifestyle or
So
your
we
foundation.
don't have to have. We don't have to be this. We don't have to have the same belief.
Principles?
Principles is different. That's
Your
different than
principles are your
beliefs.
beliefs.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
All right, give me yeah, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna give you an example. Can I give you an example, please? All right. So, this? Okay. I thought she was telling me to shut up. No. She was taking the mic away. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, principles are universal, right? When you talk about principles, you're talking about like foundational stuff, right? Like common decency, consideration, kindness, right? Are we talking about that?
No.
Wait, time out. But you don't wait, hold on. So what I'm saying is, you have a set of principles, right, that you practice and you live by, right? A belief is not necessarily something that you practice. You understand what I'm saying?
But it's something you believe in order for
Yeah.
you to practice your principles.
All right. There's a lot of people who claim that they're Christians, right? But they don't practice any of the disciplines as a Christian. You have Muslims who claim that they're Muslim, but they don't practice any of the tenets of Islam. So there's a difference. So their principles and their values, here's what I'm saying. My values, right? My values and yours could be in alignment. And we could have totally different belief systems. You could believe in Jesus, and I could believe in the devil. It doesn't matter because we have the same common principles that bring us together. So if I never
Okay.
So I was just piggybacking, responding to what you said as far as when you went into the religious conversation and one person believing in Jesus and another person believing in Satan, right? What makes that a false statement is the fact that what Satan is grounded in and supposedly what Jesus is grounded in is two separate understandings, right? So that's saying to just narrow it down and get religion out of it is positive and negative. We had a whole conversation on the way here about the fact that as soon as we see the negativity in something, we go the opposite in the opposite direction. So that has to be aligned within your relationships as well. When I meet somebody, I need to understand what their belief system is. I need to understand what their faith is founded in. I need that understanding in order for us to connect.
That's not an intellectual process. You have to spend time with somebody in order to know, because I can say whatever I want.
That is true, but you still want to be able to say, I need for you to be able to tell. Sometimes you can find out things from a conversation, right? Early on. Why do I need to go through the process if I can find out from a conversation?
You can't.
You can. I tell people my shit stinks early. Listen, everybody got some shit that stinks. Right? Some shit about you stinks. I come to the table with my shit. I put their nose in it. I need you to smell that and tell me if you could take it. Right? So if I deal with somebody and I'm telling them, listen, my shit stinks and this is the way that my shit stinks, they have now the opportunity. Now, I didn't take their choice away from them. I gave them the opportunity to either go further and get to know me now and get to that organic understanding, or say, nah, she don't believe in the same shit, or she don't move in the way that I want somebody I interact with to move. I gave you the information. You now have the information. You have a choice. Now, do people always be honest in conversation? Absolutely not. That's how you end up spending more time with people that you really didn't
Can I share
need
something?
to spend that much time
Can I
with.
say something to you? I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago. First, number one. Wait, no, hear me out. So whatever shit I bring to the table today, love is powerful. Connection is powerful. I might come into the relationship with a whole bunch of freaking ideals and do's and don'ts and what I won't settle for and what I won't tolerate. But there's something when, you know what synergy is, right? So you have two people that come together, and he was talking about chemistry, right? The chemistry alone changes both substances when they come together, correct? So when you and I come together, we're a separate entity. We merging, right? That's what the union is about. So instantly we are transformed in that moment. And then that begins to, if we nurture that, then we become different people. So if I'm really feeling a woman, right? And I know, because I've experienced this. One of the things I value is experience. I don't give a shit about. Can I curse?
I just finished.
Fuck no. So what I'm saying is I don't value people's opinions. I don't care what people's beliefs are. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't care what you believe. My thing is, who are you? And who are we?
You are your beliefs.
Hold on. Who are we? Who are we when we're together? Do we bring the best out of each other? You get what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm trying to say.
Hold on, can I say something?
Everybody.
What it sounds like you saying to me is that you selfish.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
In what way?
Because it sounds like you don't care what the other person even thinks, and in a relationship, I think it's 50-50.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
But because it just said you just said I don't care what you believe. You only care what you believe
And how you feel.
and how you feel.
No. What I'm saying is, I guess maybe I'm not expressing it right. What I'm trying to say is that what's important to me, right? And I think in relationships, period, is who are we becoming in the process? You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's not so much about, like, you could believe something now, right? And then because of our interactions, it doesn't even have to be male and female. It could just be, I met you, we cool, we start talking. You could introduce me to something different, a different perspective, looking at the way you move. Because when you hang out with people long enough, you start to pick up on their mannerisms.
But that's what
you start picking up on.
This is what,
you start to merge. I
got a rebuttal.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But this is what we're saying about beliefs, though. I think you missing the point about what we're saying. I think that we are. After being around a person for a while, you have to, for y'all to be around each other for a certain amount of time, y'all both have to start believing in the same thing. At some point, y'all both got to do that. And if y'all don't do that, then why are y'all even around each other? If you don't believe in what he believes or what she believes, why are y'all even?
Why can't we coexist? Why can't we coexist?
What are y'all talking about? Y'all only talking about basketball? That's the only thing y'all gonna have in common?
Just coexistence can happen just with chemistry, though. And we're saying that chemistry is important, but it's not the only thing. That's what we're basically saying. Like, you have to be able to have your principles in line. And if you don't have the same beliefs, then it will eventually come out in the conversation. That's what you got to do your work early. So if you're having, let's say for instance, people are giving an example, like you said, people may not give you they might lie and say that there's something that they're not, whatever have you. Like those are people that are like desperate for acceptance. Mm-hmm. So that's something that's going to come out eventually in their actions. They can't continue to just keep telling you things.
That's exactly my point.
Right, but when do you find that out? Do you wait 6 months? Like
spending time with somebody.
Yeah, but why would you?
Intuition tells you a lot if you're in tune with yourself.
Yes, but you shouldn't. But yes, we should use intuition for what it's used for. But if we're truly getting to know each other, then we should take the time out to get to know each other. And if we don't, if our beliefs don't align, to Jasmine's point, what's gonna allow you to come home every night? What's gonna make you after what's gonna be the thing that says, you know what, things are not really as smooth as they used to be, or she had 3 babies and gained a ton of weight, or we're not having as much sex anymore. What's gonna keep you from not straying and coming home?
The commitment phase of the relationship.
What's commitment?
Listen, I think we're all missing the point. Like we all at some degree are talking about the same thing. You're using chemistry, right? And you're saying chemistry is broad, but what makes the chemistry is the commitment, is what you just said. Saying. And the commitment is based on the principles that's ingrained. Yes. So you started off saying the principles and the beliefs are different. The belief is what the belief is what the devotion you have. The principles are the dedication it takes to see your faith transcend. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So when you're looking at all this stuff, y'all have to be aligned, because she's holding you accountable, you're holding them accountable. Your friends hold them accountable, they hold accountable. You gotta understand, another person's character trait would be disloyalty.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and I agree with you 100%.
So if that person's disloyal, you rocking with them?
Well, then,
no matter how much they what's the name just.
But let's talk. All right, because we throw that word loyalty around a lot.
No. I'm just using this.
Hold on. I'm gonna just say this. Mm-hmm. If you look at the words account. Mm-hmm. And accountability, right? And you look at loyalty. If you look at the word loyalty means quality. That's what loyalty means. It doesn't mean ride or die. It means, are you a person of quality, right? And what determines what I consider of quality? Some people are. I don't shop at Payless, right? Because it's not quality to me, right? Mm-hmm. It's not about price or cost. It's about the quality, right? So
why don't you shop at Payless?
Because it's not quality shoes.
And where do you shop in turn?
Depends on what I want and what I'm looking for.
Quality is also a belief system.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because you give it value. You give something value.
So it's also a belief system, and that's what you're doing when you pick a partner. It's the same thing.
No, I got it.
You're picking a quality partner.
Exactly.
When they lose their value, like what you just said, because loyalty can mean value, right? I mean, loyalty can mean quality, right? If that's the definition we use, it still means that person has quality far beyond just how they make you feel, because you know the foundation is there blindly. You have to, what belief is? When you walk out the house, when you come back, you know they're there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what belief is. You can't see that. You're talking about things you can see. So you're saying that people talk about their belief all the time but don't practice it. People talk about their principles all the time and don't practice it. People talk about how they bust their gun all the time and never bust a gun in their life.
But this is what I'm trying to say. That I don't take anything off face value. My thing is our interaction, right? How do you get to know somebody? You spend time with them, right?
Definitely.
So the foundational part of all this is what's my relationship to myself? That's the foundational part. So if I'm okay with me and I'm aligned with myself and my inner self, my inner being and all that, right? Then when I come into a relationship, I already know I'm coming authentically, right? This is who I am. This is where I'm at. I don't have to tell you who I am. Because you're going to feel who I am. You're going to get a sense of who I am, because I believe the spirit of the language of the spirit transcends words, right? Because words are always going to fall short of a definition. You can't really grasp, you can't fully understand something until you experience it. So what is my experience with each other? And that's what I value. You could say whatever you want. You could quote scriptures to you blue in the face. That doesn't hold.
But you're
weight.
talking about. You gotta understand. You're talking through pain. So you're talking about a person that would deceive you. So we all have been deceived. You get what I'm saying? But the whole point is, do you let anything steal your faith? And that's the difference. You
faith in what though?
faith in your ability to pick a partner, because we're going to go off what you said. Your ability to pick a partner that actually is going to make you feel what you said as great as you feel. But you have to go out there and get that partner.
I don't believe that though.
No, I'm saying you got to leave your house to get that partner.
I don't.
But do you believe
How
happens?
you gonna get?
Again, what I want to say is like when I'm in alignment, right, and I have countless experience, right. When I'm in alignment with myself, right, and I'm connected through certain practices and disciplines, things are orchestrated. It seems like there's an unseen hand at work that happens in my life. There's dots that's connected. There's a lot of synchronicity, what people call coincidences. These things are evidence that there's a higher intelligence at play here. It's not me making anything happen.
No.
have
But
to leave your
I'm
house.
saying
Hold
is
on, that's not true because I you know how many dates I went on off social media on my
Okay,
couch?
but I'm saying, okay.
I'm the couch man. That's like the nick. I'm the couch guy.
I use that you have to leave your house.
That's funny.
But now we're talking about spirituality. You still left your living room.
Yeah.
Because you used your phone. You still interacted with another human being. You still engaged with another human being.
I get it.
You still used your alignment to align with somebody else.
I get it.
Which is no longer just you, because once you say relationship, it's relative.
But you
So
know what? I want to say this.
relating.
My picker is fucked up.
I wonder why.
Can I? Wait, can I? No, but this is what we're
Hold
trying
on.
to even
This is
out
what
here.
We're trying to get, this is where we're trying to get you.
Yeah.
Your picker would be better if you understood
If-
that you needed
gotta be this
that
alignment.
foundation in order to pick.
So what's the foundation?
And the other,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just told you the foundation is understanding principles and faith. And once you understand that we are aligned in that way,
Then you
right?
can build on that.
You build on that. But once when somebody, if you don't know what your principles are, these are the things that you stand on. These are not budging because this is what you believe needs to be in existence in order to be your greatest self. If that's not budging, and you see somebody else who is the total opposite, just because they give you little butterflies, don't mean.
But that's not what I'm
change.
referring to.
No, I'm being an ass a little bit, but but the point is that feeling, that chemistry that you speak of. It doesn't overshadow those principles. You're gonna have to deal with those principles because those principles is dictates how the person moves in the world. Period.
Let me ask you a
How
question.
they deal with you, how they move in the world, how they deal with people.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I could, just even on a more dry level, like minus the spirituality, do you pay your bills on time? Do you believe that when bills are due?
Not every time.
No,
go
but
ahem.
I'm just I'm not asking you.
No,
I'm
just
just
fucking with
saying in general, like when I meet you in casual conversation, if you like fuck that phone bill, fuck that cable bill, they get it when I get it, this is something that I might be like, okay, so they're not into taking care of responsibilities, time sensitive stuff is not a big deal for them. And while they're this sweet person and he makes me feel beautiful, I know that in 3 months,
But
when we
again,
get
it's
a
not
little
about how
deeper,
they make you feel.
All right, yeah, I know. I feel I love, I'm all into me.
You love yourself. And you pay your bills on time.
But I pay my bills on time because I know that not paying bills on time is going
Stability
to
is a
cause this discord in the house. It's going to be an attitude between us. There's going to be little silly things that come behind this. And the fact that you're not into paying your bills on time is also a flag for me that you're possibly not into taking care of responsibilities on a couple of layers.
Yeah.
So these
so-
are things that I'm just looking at because as an adult, I don't want to be frustrated. We're not 19. I could show you how to pay your bills on time if you like, look, I'm showing up fucked up when it comes to me taking care of responsibilities. I want to move better in this. How does your structure work? Then we can maybe, but if you like, man, fuck that, I hear what you saying, but I'm still not paying this shit, then I'm like, maybe it's just not good. Maybe later on we're gonna wind up having to be like, look, I think you're a great person, but
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have issues.
I'm saying, like, even to the point that Jazz, there's something I just really don't agree. Like, emotions are a big component of a relationship. So when you said relationship, like, emotions don't mean shit. Emotions are what allows us to govern them principles as well. So I want to make sure that we clear that up because emotions, it's all about being emotionally intelligent and understanding when to use certain emotions, when certain emotions exist, and how to benefit using those emotions as well.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
In his defense, it would be you do have to have a emotional reaction to certain things, but everything is based off your principles, because when you have your principles in line, the people that give you those emotions will be aligned with your principles. Right. You see what I'm saying? Because you're and like what you keep saying, you're so centered in yourself. You have such a great sense of self when you actually interact with another human being. If they don't have the same principles, you will not feel that emotions, because our emotions stem from our mind.
Our beliefs.
You know what I mean? Our beliefs stem from our heart. So they work in unison. And we are dealing with relationships, so it being relative and finding out what's relative and what relates in a straight line to allow you to go to focus. And I can see like where we all have the disconnect is because structure. It's seeming that you have an issue with structure. Like you don't want to be put
in a box.
Mm-hmm. But commitment is a box. Commitment.
I don't believe that either.
But commitment is a box. Commitment is saying that I'm going to show up. Mm-hmm. Commitment is a box. Commitment is a label. Commitment is a word. So when you say words manifest through action. So like what you said earlier too. You said, I now as a human being, I would say it's going to exist, absolute, and it actually exists because I said it exists. You know what you said? A word.
Me?
Yeah. Those are words. So words do hold dear, but at the same time, words and actions is what make you great. Because I can never tell you anything. You can just feel my spirit. Mm-hmm. I can never tell you I'm coming home, never tell you I'm gonna show up for you, never tell you anything. If I can't talk to you, communicate with you into some form of fashion, you can't hold me to anything.
Or you won't.
So you can just feel my spirit. So I'm saying that we all as a unit, and you know, you had an opposite opinion, obviously, than everybody else. So that's what caused it to be a focal point on you. But it shouldn't be just focused on that. It should be focused on how do we strengthen our relationships? Because we do have a lot of people who just don't want to communicate. They want to just feel how they feel, or they want to just do what they want to do without following or understanding that relationships are built on this structure and not this structure. Like you have to have a focal point. That's why people do need certain relationship help. And they need to be like, yo, listen, this is not my strong suit. Just like you was hooking us up with a social media, plug. Like you was like, yo, this is what you need to do. That was advice. I'm not great at social media. You see what I'm saying? I put it up, but I'm old. So I'm like looking at you like you helping me out. I'm able to process that. Why? Because I have less information than you have. And I'm trusting that.
I don't know about the information. I think I'm sorry. I want to go back to the whole experience part of this, right? Mm-hmm. Like when I share something, I'm not sharing from a place of opinion or data that I received, like mentally. I'm speaking from a place of experience. You understand? Definitely. So what I was sharing with Mahagony earlier, like I don't care what your opinion is. If you've never done, like for instance, I open up. Whenever when I have an idea, most times I execute it and I create a business out of it, right? Mm-hmm. When people tell me, "Oh, you need to take it slow. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should take," like, did you ever run a business in your life? Did you ever open up a business? Do you even know what that entails? Do you know how to market? Do you know how to use social media? Do you know? So why are you giving me any type of advice? You have no experience in this. I'm not asking you for your opinion. I don't value it because a lot of people's opinions are based on limited experiences and fears and indoctrination. I don't care about none of that stuff. Mm-hmm. What is your experience? Let me ask you a question. How many healthy, and I'm not saying that, I'm saying rhetoric, like how many healthy relationships have you been in to tell me how a relationship works? Like how you telling me how to eat right and all this stuff, but how you telling me that Jesus heals, but you're sick all the time? So your life doesn't reflect what you're telling me you believe in. I don't care what you believe in. I'm looking at your life and the fruits of your life. And if your life is not attractive to me, I don't want to hear what you got to say, to be honest with you. I don't want nothing you have. I don't want to look like you. I don't want to talk like you. I don't want nothing you have. My goal in life is not to to emulate somebody that I don't like. You get what I'm trying to say? So when I say that, whenever I share with you something, I'm sharing from a place of experience. I'm not sharing my opinion. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's what's important to me. What is your experience? And when I listen to your story, your experience becomes mine. Because inside the mind, when you have a dream, you ever dreamt that you was falling off the bed or something and you jumped out the bed? Your body doesn't know that was a dream. Your body recorded that experience. So in reality, you had that experience. So when you watch a movie and the movie stirs emotions in you and you get emotional and you cry or you laugh or you go through this rage and anger or whatever the emotion is, you're actually going through that experience whether you know it or not. And your body's recording that information. So that's all I'm saying is that when we come into relationships, bro, what do I bring to the table? I bring experience. I bring shortcomings. I bring laughter. Because I think that's the title, right? That's the original topic. So what I'm coming with a lot. I got a lot to offer. Does it matter that I believe in Jesus? No.
You talking about religion?
No, I'm just saying because
I got a question about your opinions though. The opinion thing though. You say you don't care about opinions though, but is it that you don't care about opinions or you only care about those who are credible? Because if I come to you and I give you my opinion on something.
Okay,
you gave your opinion about.
Yeah, you're right. No, I got you. Yeah. I gotta respect you. I gotta respect your life. I gotta respect who you are, your character. In order for me, you're right about that. That's what I meant.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. You need an expert opinion. Because you can't experience mixed with knowledge. There's a lot of people that you just use experience. You see when it's convenient. You know words could be interchangeable. Mm-hmm. So like I always ask people to make sure that you don't just say one word to describe anything. You back it up with a sentence. You allow people to understand the full scope of what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Change. Oh, you change. That's politician. That's being a politician. Change. I love change. I love growth. Growth happens in many directions. Mm-hmm. Experience happens in many directions. I could watch this person hold a firecracker and blow their hand up. Mm-hmm. I don't have to experience that. I experienced it with my eyes. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So experience is also knowledge. Mm-hmm. So you had the knowledge. You didn't have to even have a social media page. You could have probably been a person who studied social media and was able to plug me in. Mm-hmm. The point is I have to have humility and understand where I don't have the strongest knowledge. Mm-hmm.